There we go. We are live. We are ready. We are up and running. Welcome back to the HOBO Racing League Cup Series, our regular Tuesday night affair. And keeping the season rolling here. We are now 16 races in. So we're keeping it going. I believe we're pretty close to about halfway, or not yet, a little more than... It looks like about halfway through the regular season here. And taking off the races here. Tonight it is Nashville Super Speedway. Kind of unique mile and a half, well, intermediate track, I guess you could say, a little less than a mile and a half in length. So, a little different challenge as going to be presented for these drivers.
333.
And 1 1/3, right on the nose. And of course, sure you all recognize that voice right there. My man, Zach.
Yes, sir. We're, as you said, here at Nashville.
And like I said, a different challenge for these drivers. Zach, I was going to ask you, just from what I could tell, the fall off, at least at this particular version, the FSE version, looks like it's going to be pretty high. I don't know. What do you think these drivers are going to be able to expect for tonight's race?
I didn't even take a peek at the track I, to be honest with you. I should probably go take a look. I can maybe give you a better feel. I mean, it's high speed straightaways with tight, slow corners. So, you're typically barreling off into the corners here at around 170 or so. And you have to woe it down to about the mid 130. So, probably going to need to use some brake here towards the end of a run. It's only 14 degrees of banking. So, it's like right on the edge of an intermediate type banking. It's kind of like Vegas, old Vegas type banking in a way. So that'll be its unique challenge, how you want to get through the corner and whatnot. So yeah, should be fun.
I think it'll be fun indeed. 113 laps here for tonight, and I will admit I did not get a good look at the pit window. Knowing this track being a little bit shorter.
Should be around 40 laps.
Yeah, I was thinking that, hopefully. So that should put these guys on a fairly comfortable two-stopper, should this race go green. But got another good field of about 24 drivers here tonight. Looking like Mac Daddy's going to snag yet another pole position.
And evens them all back up at 5 again.
5 and 5.
They take turns, man. Herman, Keith, and Caleb, they just take turns. KJ, though, almost got his first one, but 2/10 faster than the next guy were Keith and KJ.
Yeah, them two really laid down the gauntlet there. Keith and KJ on the front row here. Both guys in the 29.4s. Jeff Stakanis will start in third place with a 29.635. And then Wiley King, another great qualifying effort out of that 95. He's, again, going to be on the card for a good result here, potentially. Harry Kodian rounds out the top 5. Zach, you want to take the rest of the top 10 here?
As soon as I get back in the server, yeah, I was checking that track I.
Oh, yeah, I get you. I'll let you do your thing.
Where'd you roll off? 4th?
I got the top 5 covered. I'll let you do through 10th.
All right, well, in 6th place, we got Steve Grant, who is looking for that second win on the season, sits second in the point standings. Row 4, you got Herman Reese and Ricky Bumbalo. That is probably around, I'm not sure what the lowest Herman has qualified this year, but that's typically pretty low for Herman. We typically see him guaranteed top 2 rows.
Oh, yeah.
Ron Simpson, Caleb Lingo, row 5. Lingle is actually one who you are almost guaranteed to see in the top 5. He's got a 2.54 average starting spot. Struggled a little bit here with the Q setup tonight, it seems. Rick Castle, DJ in row 6. Ryan Johnson, Eddie Rayleigh, row 7. Irv Johnson, Steve Rubino in row 8. Duke Sorensen, Charlie Trusty, row 9. And then Dan Rubino and Troy Donahue round out the drivers who set a lap time. And rounding out the rest of the starting lineup will be Ken Hansen, Randy Smith, Monty Keller, and Greg Stenzo.
That is the 24-car field for tonight's action here at Nashville. And yeah, I'm with you. I'm surprised to see Herman and Caleb starting lower than normal for them. I mean, starting 7th for Herman. I'm sure he'll get up there at some point. Caleb, a guy who tends to be a very good hot lapper. And he's got a lot of race speed, but qualifying has definitely been his strong suit. So I'll be interested to see what he'll be able to do. Ryan Johnson, last week's winner at Charlotte. See if he can find his way up there. He often does. So keep an eye for that 78. And of course, you never ever count out Steve Grant from these things. King consistency pretty much with these finishes. Got that win at Darlington. Otherwise, he's keeping himself a very solid 2nd in the points.
Seeing a lot of drivers struggle right now attempting to pit. In that last practice pitting on their way here, they're all they're all kind of either missing the cone or they are flat out spinning out.
And 45 for pit speed.
Caleb pushed it too deep too. Yeah, it's 45, man, and I'm not sure where it starts, if it's cone or the pit stall. Judging by what some of these guys are doing, it looks like it might be first pit stall. Even Herman a little squirrely. A lot of these guys are struggling with finding that line because there's wow, we've got liftoff in turn 4. Somebody just shot off to the moon, and it's Steve Rubino.
Oh boy. I think we gotta if it's that dramatic, I gotta get a replay of that.
He was up there. It was a Rubino sandwich between him and Dan, and it just launched them both into the sky.
Spinning, probably trying to pit. It's a good thing they got this out of the way in happy hour. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And that wasn't even hard contact. It was just NR physics saying, no thank you.
Yeah, it's just the perfect way you get together. Now Ken Hansen spinning out, trying to pit. I mean, it's all asphalt down there, so there's a wide amount of asphalt, so you can really bounce it down onto the apron, but it's tricky because you got to get it woe down. You don't want to miss that cone. I'm not sure about this version. If you miss that cone, it might be a 30-second penalty, so you don't want to do that.
Yeah, that'll really, really pretty much end your competitive night.
So from what I saw of the track INI, Andrew, I believe fall off will probably be around 1 second to maybe a second and a half. I don't foresee there being too much more, though. With how slow the corners are, the track is not set up to have the tires wear a lot. So while there is a 32% total amount of grip loss at full wear, I don't think anyone will get past maybe, like, they might their right side tires in the yellow right at the end of the run. So I don't foresee them losing a ton of grip here.
Gotcha.
It's just not set up to wear the tires out. There is a lot of heat though, so they'll have to manage the tire heat.
Gotcha. So games.
Can't make it too loose, you know. If you've got too much right rear spring and that right rear gets really, really hot, you're gonna loop it on exit. So you don't want to do that.
I think I feel like that may prove to. Whoops, let's not do that. I feel like corner exits will be the trouble spot, but we will find out. I very nearly accidentally exited the server as I meant to get on and off track. That would have been a bad time, but here we go.
Your engines.
See if Mac Daddy can get win number 3 on the season. KJ is due for a W here, finally. He has not won yet this season. See if he can get it done here tonight. Justin Canis looking for win number 2. Got Why the King up there. That would be a pretty popular win. And Harry Codian often has a lot of speed. Especially, he showed it early in the going at North Wilkesboro. Of course, had technical issues that took him out of the race. I don't know. This will be this is going to be very interesting. And to what you said about not wanting to run a super duper loose setup, don't know how much that'll help or hurt KJ because he tends to like his loose setups. So
KJ doesn't know any other word but loose. If it ain't loose, he ain't doing something right there in the garage.
if you ever drive a setup of his, it is good luck holding on to it. That's all I can say. Well, here we go. It is Nashville Super Speedway coming into the restart zone. Green flag flying, and away we go here in Tennessee.
KJ with a better jump there on the green. We'll have to see. I didn't really get to watch too much practice. We'll have to see with the race if there's like a high line, outside line here. I mean, newer tracks such as this one typically do have a 2-groove layout to them. So we'll just have to wait and see what the preferred lane could be here tonight.
I do remember, I definitely saw a few guys trying out that far outside. It didn't look like it was working too well, but they were trying it more than I would have expected. Like, you already see KJ maybe going up there, so I don't know. There might, I remember you were talking to me about a version that you had raced at recently where that outside lane had way less tire heat to it. I don't know, maybe there might be some truth to that with this version too, but we were waiting to find out. KJ, though, is already starting to struggle here a little bit. Just got passed by the 31 and 95 getting right up to him here early in the going.
Well, KJ, as you said, he sets it up very loose, so he cannot drive it as hard as the guy who might have it a slightly bit more snug. He has to wait for the second half of the run until that right rear has cooled off before he can start to go. So he is not a short run driver, as we are under caution for the first time tonight.
49 around in turn 2.
It's the 49 and the 10. I feel like those two got into something last week.
I think you might be right. But some rear end damage for Irv Johnston
just
here.
Spun out. Right. Like I said it, you got to watch the exit. Could just spin on you. And then let's see, where's Randy come along here? Oh, Randy was just waiting. Randy wasn't involved. He just slowed down to let Irv go. So just a quick solo. And I have lost my cameras. Okay. It's going to be one of those nights.
Lucky escape for Duke Sorensen there in the 59 was right behind the 49 when that took place. Oh, lucky escape for driver 59. We'll go on board with him really quickly. Duke Sorensen. While Zach gets his cameras back up and running, hopefully. And there it's just starting to go, and then away. And that's the end of that. 43 also Charlie Trusty with the lucky escape. Field appears to have pretty much all stayed out, aside from some guys in the back, including Ken Hansen.
Now, like I said, Andrew, there's not really a ton of tire wear, so when you're under caution, all that heat cools off on the tires, so it's not going to be much of a tight, cold feeling because the wear rate is so low for this particular track. 0.7 on tire wear would be great for a track that's faster, like, say, like a Michigan or like in Atlanta. But for a track like this that has slow corners, I mean, the tires just aren't going to wear as quickly as you would want them to if you're wanting more fall off. Now, maybe, that's what those guys don't want that. So like everyone wants something different package wise, and that's respectable, so track position will probably be key tonight and keeping the car under you. Speaking of that top line though, Andrew, I did see on that initial go Ryan Johnson went to the outside of Rick Castle in 1 and 2. And whether it was setup, driver, or a little bit of the grip lanes, Ryan was able to carry about another 3 mile an hour off of turn 2 compared to Rick, who was on his inside.
That'll be good to know maybe for the future here in this race. We'll see if anyone else might utilize that. And if that will indeed become a viable option, I will send a shout out to our guy HB Hardy. Good to see you in the chat, my man. That's it's always cool to see some of these guys out here. And HB, appreciate you tuning in, my man. I know these guys also really appreciate it, and of course, always gotta send our thank yous to these guys at HOBO for putting on this show and well, putting up the show, if you know what I mean. I'm just here having fun, as we always do every week, Zach.
Yes, sir, Andrew. Just another relaxing Tuesday night. So we are getting the 1 to green.
You're going to get single filed out here. Our boy Mac Daddy out here in front. Jeff Stakanis up to second, ahead of KJY the King and Harry Kodian. Steve Grant, Herman Race, Ricky Bumbaloo, Ron Simpson, Caleb Lingle. So a mostly unchanged top 10 there. And again, we'll be keeping an eye on that 78, 77 up there in between them in 11th place. So now that these tires have cooled back off, I know that cold tires plus high banks equals sketchiness. How do you think they'll fare on a maybe slightly flatter banking here?
Sorry, what was your question? I zoned out for a minute.
It's all good. Cold tires on slightly less banking.
That don't really. It's not really about the banking. It's about how much they've worn and the whole way the heat cycle works. I mean, like I said when we got to the yellow, I don't think it's a big concern at this stage of the run. They only went about 2.5 laps.
Gotcha. Oh, Caleb
spun it though on the restart.
Oh, is he going to come back on the track and throw the yellow?
Nope, no caution.
He stayed below the apron the whole time. Oh, man. From 10th.
Oh, he got help.
Oh, and he got nudged.
He got nudged by DJ.
Oh. I'm not saying that was on purpose because I am 1,000% sure it was not. But after last week, that's quite the coincidence.
Caleb checked up for the cars in front of him, and DJ didn't see it and was in the midst of shifting, so he never got a chance to lift and just ran right into Caleb.
The old accordion effect. We hear about it all the time. That's because it bites more often than not, and oh my goodness, it bit right there. KJ, yeah. The word tight is not in his vocabulary. Well, loose, loose. Yeah, no.
You don't know what the word means.
Oh, my goodness.
He's illiterate to the word tight.
He just had a moment off of 4. And, yeah, these short runs are not going to be his friend. The long run, I think, if we get one going, he's going to be dangerous. But, whew.
So good news for Caleb here is right now that spin did nothing to harm him because he got shot right down into the grass. All he did was, lose time, and thankfully it was on the restart, so he didn't lose too much time. He is 13 seconds behind Keith right now, but he's tracking similar lap time. He just ran a 30.54. Keith ran a 30.2 the last lap. But a couple of the front runners are running around the same lap as Caleb, so he's not in any immediate danger. But he would probably like a caution here at some point.
I would imagine so. Checking on further back here. I saw a couple guys, either intentionally or unintentionally, are ripping the high side. I believe Dan Rubino was just doing that. The line that I'm kind of seeing everyone favor and appears to be more of like a middle of the track groove here, almost toward the very top of the rubber in lane. Is that caution? Yep, there it is.
Oh, we got another one.
Oh, 49 again.
Yeah, he might have set himself up a little too loose. Yeah, he's done.
He just called it a night there. Same spot. Let's see if it's kind of the same deal here. It looks like, oh my gosh, carbon copy.
Yeah, that might be a case of too much right rear spring because it's stepping out on him right where, the right rear spring kicks in. Right past the middle of the corner is when your right rear spring kicks in.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean, it's just coming around on him. That could also be a mix of too much right rear track bar. I mean, there's a couple of factors to it, but I mean, unfortunately, he's not even that many laps into the run, and it's just uncontrollably loose for him on corner exit.
And that
And,
will.
this is not a track these guys come to very often. Like a lot of these, a lot of leagues do not run Nashville. In the open setup sphere. So this was probably a building experience for a lot of these guys last night that spent some time practicing, and those that came in tonight, they kind of had to whip something together. And the 49 team unfortunately missed.
It's the setup there, yeah. So a short night for the 49, unfortunately so. But we'll see him probably back out next week at Michigan. Everybody on pit road this time around. 4 tires looks like the name of the game for everybody. Top
Caleb
3 going to stay
taking
the
2.
same.
Caleb Lingle took 2, trying to recover some of his lost track position.
Ooh, I see that. And just being out of his teammate Eddie Rayleigh there. Look like maybe 12th-ish. We'll see what it's going to show once they cycle back around.
Looks to be about that. A couple of people stayed out, so they're going to be pitting this time by.
DJ going to get a lady lap here. Also, Charlie Trusty stayed out. Randy Smith stayed out.
They're going to go another lap.
Time.
Charlie might be trying to get a lap lead bonus here.
That beautiful looking number 43. Now that we now that I actually found it after last week, or we did have it for last week, but
Yeah,
prior
I thought
to that,
I gave it to you before last week.
You did. Yeah, last week we had it.
One's getting old. Hey, you think that's bad? I apparently completely forgot to clock in this morning when I went to work, and I walk by the punch-in clock like every morning. Like I can't walk around it like to get to my area, so I like completely zoned out while walking by it and didn't even think to punch in. And I didn't realize it until I went to punch out for lunch because I was trying to remember the exact time I punched in because my company does count by the minute. Even though they say they give you a 5-minute leeway, they do count your time by the minute. And I was like, my punch is not showing up. That is really strange. So then I went to the HR assistant and he's like, I saw my card on their end, and yep, there was no punch for 9 a.m. So I was like, LOL. I apparently forgot to punch in.
Well, I would imagine they fixed it.
Well, yeah.
Duh.
I was there, Andrew. Why wouldn't they?
I've heard weirder things.
Well,
I mean,
places are
granted
crazy.
that's illegal, but yeah.
Anyway, I guess Charlie wants to restart in the lead because he did not pit.
And favoring track position above all else. He did pit onto the first yellow, so
And yeah, not a bad call.
If he's feeling that'll be enough to keep him up there, we'll see what he's able to do. Keith then will be second. Stacanus,
12th.
KJ.
You were right. Caleb, 12th place.
Wiley King, and 12th for Caleb. Man, I'm just that good.
You got lucky.
That was very lucky. Ryan Johnson has found his way to the top 10 in the 78. Ricky Bumbaloo still looking solid here in 9th. 6th for Cody Ann. Again, 2 guys that hoping for some good runs there. Coming to lap 17 of 113. Second caution coming to an end here. We'll be getting back green here at Nashville.
For how long?
For how long?
Ooh, I'm tired apparently. I'm yawning over here already.
Hey, it's hey, remember, us both, we got working lives outside of here. This is just some fun that we have. As here we go into the restart zone. Guys awfully spread out here up front. Yeah.
I'm not. I couldn't really tell if Keith slowed down or if Charlie was speeding up a little early.
Oh,
Couldn't really tell.
Jeff was way behind 28 too. I don't know what that was. He's just
Keith's
playing
gonna
it
have a
safe.
huge run here. He's gonna take the lead, I think, right now. Yep.
Gonna go to the inside, and McDaddy gonna take the lead back here. Oh, that's wall glue central.
I think Charlie was trying to give them the lane to get out of harm's way and went a little too high.
Yeah. Oof, trying to hold on to it. Just managed to do so. So, did not hold on to that track position very long, but still higher than he was. So, we'll see if he's able to hold on to it. He's going to try to clear the 25.
Little loose.
Oh, man, I thought that was going to be contact there. Good save by them both. Checking on up front here real quick. Everyone pretty much staying together, but getting a little more bunched up as... Oh, man,
Charlie is really struggling right now on the heat cycle. Cold.
Oh, that's not good!
Run him over. He's around.
And it came down on him there a little bit. And that will be yellow number 3. And he'll get it back going. Ooh, yeah. It was going to be 3 wide there. And I just don't think that... I just don't think they were quite ready for that. And things got just a little too snug.
It looked like Steve meant to go low, and he was going to be in the middle 3 wide, but his car got wiggly on him. Yeah, he went to turn left, and I think it got loose on him, so he turned back up to the right, and by the time he caught it, he ran right into Charlie, and it looks like Steve has called it a night. Wow, yeah, he has.
Oh.
Wonder if maybe some other things are going on, and that could have affected what happened there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I think he'll let us know in the chat because I know Steve likes to watch. So maybe Steve can let us know in the chat what happened there, if there was more to it than a wiggly race car.
I mean, the tri-oval, as you and I know, Zach, at really any track like this, an open setup especially, it can bite you unexpectedly. I know that's caught me out more than once. We'll go on board with Duke Sorensen again. We're gonna get a good view of this.
Yeah, I mean, it is banked. The tri-oval is banked at 9 degrees. The corners are at 14 degrees. So, I mean, if he turned the steering wheel a little too abruptly to the left, right at the start of the tri-oval, I mean, I can see that getting the car loose. Hence why it like wiggled back up to the right, and him trying to maybe think he might have been going around from that jerk to the left.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of room between him and I believe that was Monty Keller on the inside of that. So, but yeah, hey, that's nature of the beast. That's the nature of racing, especially when you're got some cars that are dancing around a little bit on a treacherous racetrack on the short run. So tough break there for Steve. Tough break for Charlie as well. But still in the race is that 43. He's got that damage repaired, and we're going to try to keep that thing going. But we've already got 2 guys out of this thing, the 07 and the 49. Keith McLean, though, back to the race lead.
Yeah, Herman Reese hasn't really had a chance to make much ground up. He is still in 7th where he lingled back into 10th now following this caution. We've still got another lap. Andrew, why don't you tell the viewers what you've got coming up here for a couple Sundays across the summer?
You read my mind. I was literally just thinking, man, I got to get that in here. But yes, starting this coming Sunday, we will be broadcasting a few select fast races. I had streamed a fast a few years ago, and we'll be doing same league again. Of course, that's the Fast Racing League that Randall Coleman runs. Zach has asked if I would be up to do a few races, and that will commence this coming Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. First race on that docket will be Michigan. And then we'll be doing another race. I believe it would be two weeks after that, or 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
2 weeks.
2 weeks after for Pocono, and then another 2 weeks for Chicago, and then 3 weeks out is Indy, and then another 2 weeks out is Watkins Glen. So those are the 5 that Andrew will be doing. I will be on the track, so maybe I'll be your Keith McLean, and I'll be your in-race reporter.
I think
But
I might just hold you to that.
I can definitely say I can probably respond under green on the ovals, but on the road courses, no way. Especially not the Chicago street course. You are shifting nonstop there.
Oh yeah, no. Even at the ovals, I will spare you any risk of remotely throwing off focus.
What's funny is so Sunday we ran Nashville ourselves, and it was a relatively small crowd, nothing crazy. But we were pretty quiet. Like there was a little chatter on my whisper early in the race, but after that, like other than when we had the pit under green, like we were not really that talkative.
Hey, it's
Just went out there and ran 105 laps, caution free Sunday.
caution free. Wow, there you
Yes,
go.
sir, caution free.
Nicely done. So we'll see
Oh,
what that'll
anyway,
be for
we'll
Michigan.
see if we can't go caution free from here.
90
As
laps.
Mac's daddy leads them back to the green flag.
Mac Daddy, followed by Steak and Eggs himself, and back to it here at Nashville. Boy, would you like some Stella Artois with your steak and eggs?
Ken Aas.
There's that little bit of looseness.
Subtle enough for you?
I see what you did there. And to which I say, not quite subtle enough.
Nah. Well, anyway, Jeff's going to try to...
A valiant effort.
Get that bumper to the front, you know what I mean?
Ooh, battle here for 5th. Steve Grant gets it on Harry Codian there. So move that 11 up into a top 5. And yep, like I said, little moment there for Bumbalo. Gonna lose a spot to Ryan Johnson. That will be 8th.
My man, Buffalo Wild Wings.
That thanks to Ryan Johnson, that has become you and I's thing. It's Buffalo Wild Wings. And honestly, it's for the better.
Thing. He's the one with the sponsor on the car.
It's his thing, but hey, he didn't introduce us to it, but he's the one that kind of pushed us to that unintentionally. And I'm glad he did.
These guys are going a lot faster into the corners. They're holding about maybe 180 plus into turn 1. So yeah, there's definitely some braking going on here. I mean, they're running around like 135 to almost 140 at the center of the corner. They're definitely having to use some brake.
Oh, yeah. There's no way you're going to be checking up that hard. And probably right about there, like half brake. And, yeah, maybe just kind of dragging it through the corner there. Just trying to keep some momentum going. And then you get back on that throttle.
Battle for 5th. Cody and looking to the inside of Grant.
Trying to take that spot back.
Yeah, it looks like Steve's going to maybe just let him have it and then try to fend off Herman. Yeah, there's definitely a top side here because Herman had to really check up on the bottom. He couldn't get any grip to the inside of that 11 car.
Yeah, it looked like he almost had a wiggle himself. So Herman in a bit of a weird spot here for what he's used to. And that being outside the top 3. It's been a great season for that 73 thus far. The only triple-time winner this season. And,
what are you talking about? Keith McLean's got 3 wins.
No, he's got 2.
Why does the standings say 3?
Oh my god, am I being stupid? He won Phoenix, he won Kansas. Oh my god, what was the 3rd? Oh, he won Charlotte. Oh my god. Or no, that was Ryan Johnson. Too many races now, I've lost track. Wilkesboro. See, this is why I have you here. You actually...
I got the standings up on my other monitor. We got another yellow.
Yellow is out. Stenzo this time. My other monitor is occupied by OBS to make sure I don't do the stupid, leave it on the holding screen again.
See what happened to old Stenzo here.
Oh.
Sent it in low, and it just drifted up the track on him, got it in the wall, and got loose coming off the wall, came down, and bounced off of the old 77 car.
Yeah,
And that is not a happy cow in that 51 machine.
Cow would be just a little bit happier if he ate at Chick-fil-A. I know Chick-fil-A is not on that car, but it usually is.
See, we gotta have more pit stops here at lap 30. This is gonna be borderline in the fuel window for everybody. And wouldn't you know, Ron Simpson's staying out. I think Ron likes the fuel games. Ron's the type who's like, ooh, if I pit a lap or two later under yellow, I can make it slightly better on fuel than these guys, since it's a borderline one stop. I wonder if that's what goes through Ron's mind, because that's what he did last week at Charlotte.
Yeah, he does pull that a good bit. So, and not to mention, yeah, just kind of going off strategy, but it has yielded him some great results. And we've seen that guy finish in the top 10 a good handful of times. Ooh, he got a 2-tire call here for Rayleigh. All
Everyone
right.
else took 4 though.
Ooh, gonna get tight here, Herman.
Herman about bodied Ryan into the grass.
Ooh. Made sure he didn't get that spot.
Herman.
Yeah, this ain't that side of a pit road. I mean, it's not the widest in the world, but it's certainly ain't the narrowest by any stretch. But and Herman getting the elbows out even on pit road.
I think the worst pit road to exit off of is probably Dover. I think Dover is the narrowest. Because Darlington's like that tiny bit wider. Bristol's a tiny bit wider. Dover is tight, man.
Indy's pretty snug from what I remember.
Yeah, yep. Indy's snug too.
But no, I definitely know exactly what you mean, especially at the game track. Oh man, you can lose that back end in a hurry when you're on the apron. Randy Smith getting a lady lap here. In the 10. A couple lady laps here, actually. But Eddie Rayleigh, also a 2-time winner himself this season. And I can actually name the tracks this time, and that's Martinsville and Talladega. And that's because I think I mentioned it before, the fact that he's won at the biggest and the smallest track.
Have you been keeping up on who's that driver, Andrew?
I have a little bit. I believe, was it Kubat that you just had on there?
Yes, sir. We had Robert Kubat on the show. We reached double digits the previous week with Jack Merkel. And we'll have another guest on this weekend. I might start... I like the once-a-week thing, but depending on people's availability, it might just become when I can get somebody. So if that turns into like random weeks having 2 a week, then like so be it. I struck out kind of hardcore this week. I was trying to get one guy, he's really busy. He was trying to get another guy, he's really busy. Messaged 2 other guys, they didn't answer. I was like, man, I still got 20 more names on the list, but this sucks so far.
It's still a cool deal and a unique idea that you've got going on. So to anyone that wants to learn a little bit about the guys and girls that make this thing go still, check out Who's That Driver over on Zach's channel, Bulldog
I'm glad
Speed.
I'm glad you mentioned it that way, because I have had a girl on. We did have a girl on episode 7.
I thought so. Although who it is escaping me.
Aria Carmona.
That's who it was. You gotta get Jessica on there. That would be a hoot.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, there's a lot of names on the list. It's all about who I'm feeling. Like I'm like, oh, like this guy's probably available. I think I can get this guy on. Nope, guess not.
Nope. 80 to go here, coming to the line. Eddie Rayleigh leading them here. Let's get TB2 going here. This is a fantastic shot here from the infield. Green flag back in the air. Oh, man, that's a good time.
Oh, he clipped the apron a little bit, I think. That's going to let Keith get to his inside. Now, just don't do what the 43 did, Eddie.
No. I think Eddie's going to be in a little better shape here. He's at least got 2 tires. Charlie had none. So we'll see if he can get the power off here off the corner. No, he's gonna get Jeff Stakania still to his inside and
That was
battle
pretty
for second.
equal, though.
Yeah, he's
It
holding steady.
looked pretty equal. KJ's gonna just ship it though. Oh, KJ with the slide job.
And that'll open the door for Rayleigh to try to take back for third. That looks like he's just gonna file in.
There's definitely an outside groove to this racetrack, and then Herman's going to
Ooh.
start to try to utilize it. He's going to send it to the outside of Steve here, try to get next to him, can't quite do it through the middle. And not much of a run there on exit.
Yeah, maybe, I think he had to delay getting back on the throttle, but I'm with you. I think that was just because he really sent it by the looks of it, so just had to really chuck it up there in the middle. Man, look how tight everybody is back here with about 7th on back. Bumbleow's going to try to make a move here on the 78. Oh, and 78's going to send it into. Not let that happen. Caleb's trying the outside. And even KJ's running a little bit higher, so yeah, it can work. Maybe not quite as well as what you had on Sunday, Zach, but it definitely, if you got the car for it, you can make some stuff happen no matter where you're at.
Oh,
Ricky!
On the bottom, and around he goes.
Oh!
Duke Sorensen nowhere to go. Ken Hansen with a narrow miss. And Randy Smith spins it to miss it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, Sunday was a totally different ballgame, though. It was fixed setup and CTS physics.
Oh, you ran CTS? Oh.
Yeah, Fast will run CTS physics for a selected number of tracks, but generally it's just Cup.
Dang, I thought that would have been a Cup, but...
Nope, you'd be surprised what is not Cup physics sometimes.
Well, let's see. Ricky Bumbaloo looks like maybe just gotten a little too low and a little too aggressive with the line.
Yeah, I'm assuming that the way this track is set up, the bottom might have a tiny bit less grip than the top. So if you're running a little bit of a looser setup, it might be more stable to actually run that middle to top. But if you're right on the bottom, I can see why it's stepped out on him there. It was very slow. Like it was kind of like when Irv spun out. Like it was a very slow spin, and like if you weren't already noticing it, like you didn't have time to catch it.
Yeah, it was subtle until it wasn't, kind of thing, and just the spin builds and builds until eventually, see you later. We got Fugate in the chat. Just realized, we've been missing you. Good luck to the 3 horsemen tonight. I wish I could have been there. But we'll be back next week, and appreciate the kind words there, and yeah, we look forward to seeing you at Michigan, man. We're missing you tonight, but best of luck next week.
I will be vacant from the booth the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, this guy's going racing over at Maverick. So if you wanna see Zach in action, you can check out TarnationTV. We're covering Maverick over there. I always feel bad that I'm like every Tuesday. I'm always in. I'm always doing this alongside of Blaine over there, but yeah, it's all good.
It's 2 different groups of the community, though.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing with NR is NR 2003 has always been like a bunch of groups. So like, most people that would be interested in HOBO aren't gonna be interested in watching Maverick to begin with. So you're not really competing for people to watch.
No, yeah. Yeah, every league does have kind of their own kind of dedicated group, and I'm sure, like you said, these guys probably don't have much interest in that, and Maverick guys probably aren't as into this, so.
Some of the Maverick guys are so new to the game, they might not even know what HOBO is.
Probably. A lot of guys getting into it. Hopefully hopefully we'll be able to compete with them competitively in the future.
I was asked to do some investigating work last night over potential cheater, potentially. Can't say for sure if this guy was cheating or not, but when I had to look at the replay for this league, I didn't know half the people racing in it. I've been around 10 years. I didn't know half the people racing in it. That's how many different subgroups of the community there are.
And the fact that there's still like that much to it, and we'll say it before, we'll say it again. Just the fact that this game is 22 years old and it's still got that big of a following, both on the offline side and the online side, and got easily 100 different guys racing tonight. Because again, I always bring up BPNR; they're racing as well. So, and CCR and oh geez,
BPNR, you said?
BPNR, yes, that is a league. Gosh, what was Landon something as the lead admin, but Caleb Rose, who runs races on AG, the channel, he actually introduced me to that league, and there's a couple of guys even from the offline side that I know who apparently race over there, so I was intrigued to race with them
Yeah,
at some point.
there's, you know, what's funny is I'm in one of the offline servers I'm in. There's like 2 or 3 people that I recognize racing at like a league called DSRA or Gnarl, and I'm like, wow, I never knew these guys were even interested in running online. I could have helped them get into a league, but they're running at leagues I've never heard of before. So,
Hey, here's a fun fact as we're coming to the green here. Aiden Lacasse, if anyone knows that name, is an offline champion on my channel. Green flag back out.
oh, thanks for the useless fact, Andrew. I'm just kidding.
Useless indeed, but fun. Back to it here, and we'll see how everyone holds up here on these cold tires. I am dropping frames like it's nobody's business. There we go. Starting to low back out. Wiley King, or right back on the tail of KJ. Credit to Wiley. He is still, and Harry Cody, and they're both doing a phenomenal job keeping it in the top 5. They have not fallen back at all throughout this race. Someone that has, though, is Herman. He's just barely knocking on the top 10 here. He's going to get into the top 10 now after passing Dan Rubino. Dan's going to get up into the wall.
Might have been some pit strategy on that last caution. Yeah, Dan gets a little bit of wall glue. He's going to lose all that track position. But Caleb Lingle continues to march back forward. He's up to 7th now. That's 77 to DJ right behind him. So Eddie going to make the move on him for 8th.
Battle for 3rd. Wiley King looking to make it happen. KJ going to deny that. Ooh,
Wiley
Harry
goes
up in it.
Really low.
Oh, he's going to try and cut off the 13. 13 crosses him over. Great move. And battle now for 4th. Ooh, they're getting close.
That's the thing with the way these turns are set up here at Nashville Super Speedway is they're very tight. So if you go in too low on entry, you're setting yourself up for a terrible arc coming off, and you just sacrifice so much speed for the next straightaway. So you kind of want to still take a wide arc, especially into turn 1, or you end up like Wiley there. Wiley lost the position because he went in so low.
And he's going to have to try to hold on to 5th here. Steve Grant has caught up to him, and there's Caleb. And he's ripping that outside here a little bit. 13's doing the same. KJ's doing the same. Well, yeah, I think these guys are starting to find something. How about DJ up here into the top 10?
For the lead, Jeff Stakanis all over the bumper of Keith McLean.
Also maybe trying to get a little bit higher there. 28's doing the same thing. I think these guys may have listened to you a little bit, Zach. They're starting to migrate up there a little bit more. I know that they were kind of running in that black stuff more so, but maybe just getting a little half groove higher than they were running initially. Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with FSC tracks, so I'm not sure if this is a 2-groove track or a 3-groove track. If I had run some laps, I probably would have been able to tell, but I think it's definitely at the minimum a 2-groove. So if they're running around the middle to the top, they're getting a little more stability, I think, running up there.
Battle for 9th. Ryan Johnson and DJ contact. Gonna send DJ into the wall. He's gonna spin it out. Caution.
DJ did a great job holding the brake there. If he hadn't, the rear end would have come back down the track and somebody would have just driven right into him. So great job there holding the brake.
His luck continues for that 77. But KJ still, or excuse me, McDaddy, yeah, close enough in the race lead. But yeah, I was just having hard battling there for 9th, and unfortunately, just a nudge was enough to upset that 77. Just got into the quarter, or bounced off the quarter panel, I should say, of that 78.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of similar to last week in the quad oval. Ryan could have been another quarter to third of a lane lower, but he held his line throughout the whole entry to the corner, and DJ just turned down as if Ryan was going to be that tiny bit more down, and he just, contact was made, and it spins him around.
Yeah, maybe anticipating like that arc that you were talking about, and yeah, I definitely saw DJ just come down that little bit, but yeah, 78 was that little bit high. I'd say just, hey, that's racing. Everyone back on pit road again. And we're gonna stay the same still. Well, Mac Daddy, I know that he does not enjoy a lot of cautions in races, but he's at least gotta be feeling good that it's keeping him out front here pretty comfortably.
Ron Simpson has called it a night.
Oh, that's unexpected. Not sure. Maybe we got into some trouble that we didn't see.
Nope, I think he just called it a night.
Ugh. Hope all is well with Ron there. Hopefully it's nothing serious. So we've got lap 50 on the board now of 113. So that puts us at 64 laps to go. Still going to be one more pit stop to go, but pretty easily so. We'll see how long of a green flag run we get going here. If it gets long enough, what will the strategy dictate there? Because you could run it out, you could short pit and get the undercut. I don't know. That's kind of another question that I'll ask you, Zach. Obviously, I'm sure it depends on the track and the circumstances, but overcut versus undercut, do you typically feel like you have a preference?
So I would love to split runs in half at some tracks in a situation like this, but I always am anxious that if I don't just run my gas out, I'm going to get trapped a lap down. So I run the gas out. I mean, the run is still long enough. I'm either going to run the gas out or I'm going to wait to be the last car to pit. So like this is a 62, 63 lap run to the finish. If everyone pits by 34 laps into the run, then yeah, I'll pit the next lap, 35th lap into the run. I might wait one more lap, go to 36th lap in the run. But if everyone were to run it almost long and they pit, 37, 38, and then I'm going to run out on 39, then I'm just going to, I'm going to pit when I'm about to run out.
I got you there, and thank you, Francis, for the call out. It's never fails. Never ever fails. Hey, Tyler. What's up? So, pretty much unchanged up here in the top 5.
Who's that in the chat? I'm sorry, I don't recognize that name. I'm bad. I'm bad with names,
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I think it's just
Not
I think
you, Francis. By the way, I'm talking about the other guy.
Yeah, I think it's someone who is just a Ross Chastain wannabe watermelon farmer.
Wannabe watermelon farmer. You don't race like Ross Chastain, but I mean, he's
no,
a melon.
But you see, I was just saying, you see what I did there.
Yeah, we're going back racing. Keith McLean's still leading this thing.
Mac Daddy, he's been dominating this thing thus far. We are back at it. And back into turn 1. Typical trend's kind of been we get a few laps going here, and then things start to bite. So
yep, then we start to see people spinning out.
Yeah, we'll see how this run goes along here. Good to see you from CCR.
Spectator camera's pretty nice here. It goes from the grandstand all the way around the track, which I like.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it actually kind of jumps forward. I like that. And not bad, not bad. You get a good view of this wonderful facility.
Herman Reese going on for position here on Steve Grant. Steve gonna let him take it. That's for 7th.
Ooh, Ryan Johnson going to try to follow suit. Not quite sure if he's going to be able to pull that off on the inside there. Steve Grant will power off and hold on to that 8th position. Battle for 10th.
Cody N just took 4th from Wiley King going in the 1.
A great run there for that 13. Overdue for a good run. So long overdue is that 13. I keep hyping him up, but that's because I think that he 100% deserves it, darn it.
Right on, Bandit. Happy to have you watching and supporting. Caution is out again.
There's that few lap window that we were saying. It looks like it might be 77.
Oof. Yeah, DJ having a rough go tonight.
Let's see, looks like probably 1 and 2 again. And
carbon copy of what happened to Irv Johnson tonight. It might be that was probably the rear end damage in that case for DJ, because he's been fine before. But I think the rear end being mushed up, that the car's a little lighter in the rear end. So if DJ wants to continue, he might want to throw some wedge in to try to counteract that damage.
I'll get another look at it here real quick, just because got a little laggy there. So, oof, lucky escape for Trusty in that 43. Ooh, that was dodgy. But got away with it.
Split strategy here. You got Ryan Johnson pitting, Eddie Rayleigh, Ken Hansen, Monty Keller, Rick Castle, all down pit road.
Ooh, all right. 5 all stayed out. So what will that mean for those drivers there, like the 78 and the 112? We're on lap 56 of 113, so they're definitely not going to be able to make it. However, being on a little fresher rubber there, we maybe get a run going. Don't know. Yeah, that could be interesting. Or if we run a good handful of laps, then that'll force these guys to pit, and then the rules will be reversed. So this just got mighty spicy. Send a quick shout out to everyone who is tuning in this evening. Appreciate y'all as always. Always fun getting to interact with everybody in the chat as well. I always do have a fun time with that. Of course, Mac Daddy having fun out front ahead of Steak and Eggs, who been holding on to second here ahead of KJ. These three have been just untouched here in the top 3. Harry Cody and Wiley King swap positions, 4th and 5th, and Cale Lingle up to 6th. So still on the cards for a good run here for that 113 after early trouble and spinning out into the infield, but has recovered quite well. Herman Reese just still stuck where he's at in 7th. Steve Grant, Duke Sorensen, Ricky Bumbaloo going to be your top 10 here. Everyone going to be getting caught back up. Looks like Ryan Johnson, top guy that just pitted there, will be 13th on this restart. Field will probably be taking the green flag here with, if my math serves me correctly, 55 to go. There's still one more pit stop to make guaranteed for everybody. It's going to be a matter of when you do it. Pit window's still about 40 laps on a tank of fuel. That guy's clutching here, but I'm sure that's just for some of that strategy. Maybe maybe You run this stint long enough, maybe you can get away with 2 tires. That might actually be the play for some of these guys that just pitted. I don't know. This will be interesting whether we get another caution or if this stays green.
I don't know, Andrew. 55 lap run here for those that did pit. I would still want to put 4 tires on it, even if I cut it in half.
I gotcha.
Then again, if they go long and they pit with like 17 to go, then yeah, 2 tires, 1 can.
Yeah, they could probably get it at best to maybe 15 to go, would be my guess. But that would be pushing it. We'll see. We'll see what this run holds. So far, we haven't gotten very many long runs to know kind of what it looks like, so time will tell what we got this time around. McDaddy, though, just doing his thing out front.
Yeah, I mean, the longest run we've had so far is comparable to like a 2-hour power nap.
Into the restart zone. Here we go once again. Green flag in the air at Nashville. Ooh, almost a shove there from the 029 to the 31. Now, here's another thing that I found interesting during practice is, 31 got a little sideways. But at points, they were shifting in the corners.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough speed difference. You know, like I said earlier, they're hitting almost 185 going into turn 1. So, like, if it came down to a short run, if you set it up, you could, you know, make it a shift setup, set it to where you're shifting from 3rd to 4th gear at about maybe 160, 165 miles an hour, get a little more acceleration off the corner. But that would only really be good for a short run, and if you have a, like, tighter setup. Like, a lot of these guys are really on edge. They don't want to be shifting at all with a full load of fuel in the car.
F61 now on the board. Ryan Johnson currently 11th on the freshest tires. Trying to get by the 85 for a top 10 position. Going to get close again. And he's had a few dodgy moments. He had contact with 77 earlier, but this time going to be able to make that move no problem. And up into the top 10. We'll see what that, if that may mean
wide.
danger. Oh my goodness. Still 3 wide. Door slam!
Did not know he was 3 wide and turned down into the door. Dan Rubino, and he's still touching the 44.
Loose.
Really loose.
Wall's going to keep him straight.
Rear end damage, though. He hit it close enough to the rear of the car. That whole straightaway was an uh-oh moment for Ricky.
Oh, man, it was an uh-oh moment for the 44 as well. Credit to those guys for keeping it as straight as they did. No caution. Battle for 6th between Caleb Lingle and Herman Reese. Herman gonna back out of that for the time being.
I don't know if you mentioned it, by the way, Andrew, but DJ did retire, so we are down to 20 cars.
All on the lead lap, but, 4 retirees thus far out of the 20 that started, or 24 that started. Whee! That was, some hair-raising moments there, but we are now at 50 laps to go here at Nashville Super Speedway. Top 3, looking mighty familiar. And, guys trying to settle into their runs here and starting to think, all right, when's going to be the time? What's going to be the call here?
And, you know, a lot of those guys that pit under that last caution, if we got another yellow here in the next 5 laps, those guys could pit for 2 tires under that yellow, where a lot of those that stayed out would probably pit for 4, and that would be a big shuffle effect on the running order.
Ooh, yeah, you got a point there. So, see what the strategy's gonna, how it'll shape out, depending on how this race shapes out. As P9 now for Ryan Johnson. Eddie Rayleigh's gonna follow suit and get up into the top 10. Those 2 guys, they're charging pretty good on these tires, so it looks like it's making just enough of a difference that they're able to move forward. Well, obviously, it's going to get harder and harder.
KJ's kind of stacking up the 3 guys behind them. That car's still a little too loose for him to push as fast as as Harry and Wiley and Caleb. So might see a pass here for third soon if Harry gets enough of a run.
See if this might be the run that he's looking for. Ooh, side to side there for 95. Harry's playing it patient for now. He probably could have tried to get to the inside. You're going to opt not to. Checking back here. Ooh, Rayleigh.
Oh, KJ went too high into turn 2. He's going to lose 1 spot, 2 spots.
Maybe
Make
3.
It 3 here down by turn 3. Herman might take a go at it too.
Wow. Just like that. 3rd to 7th.
Not sure if it got loose on KJ into entry or if he just overdrove it that tiny bit, but he had to let it slide up the track to catch it, and it's going to cost him multiple positions.
And now he's got to hope for a long run here for that car to come in, but now he may lose another. If Steve Grant gets enough of a run on him, looks like he's going to go ahead and commit to it. He's trying. He's got 2 guys on fresh tires behind him as Rayleigh did get past Johnson. And, oh my goodness, he gets into him! Don't know if there was contact, but they somehow keep it straight. Oh, I cannot believe that they held on to that. Credit to Rayleigh as well.
I thought Eddie was going to run him over, but Steve did a great job saving it. It looked like Steve just got really loose coming off of turn 4. And he was either taking out KJ or Eddie was taking out him, and somehow neither occurred.
Everybody kept it straight somehow. It was close on if there was contact or not. But regardless, great driving job by everybody involved. Steve is going to let the 112 pass. That is
Randy
for 9th.
Smith.
Ooh.
Randy Smith just up now into the top 10 going by Steve Grant. Oh, Steve's still loose.
Steve's starting to struggle here. I think Randy is also on new tires. KJ held on to 7th, but for how long? He's got new tires behind him. This looks like this may have been a great call out of Ryan Johnson here. He's going to take 7th place away at this rate. And now we'll see if he can try to close in on 6th place Herman Reese next.
I don't know if you'd remember the answer to this question or not, but we haven't had anybody win back-to-back races this season.
No, we have.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Herman did win 2 in a row. I'm pretty sure that was Bristol and Texas.
Okay. So Ryan would be looking to become the 2nd driver to do so.
Indeed. Rayleigh past KJ. KJ back to 9th. Hey, he's got to hope that thing comes in on this long run if this run continues. Checking up front though, how about Caleb Lingle? Now sticking with these guys, and he is up in 4th place. Again, after that early problem, spinning out on a restart, and he is now within less than a second, or about 1 second, of the race lead, and possibly looking to take 3rd place away here soon enough.
Yeah, that 113's fast. He struggled a tiny bit in qualifying, but he's definitely got the race pace here tonight to take it to these guys. And obviously he had the mishap on the very first restart from the first caution, but he has been able to keep his nose clean and rebound.
The Las Vegas winner has had a lot of bad luck. Was able to get some good luck last week at Charlotte with a runner-up finish. And looking to go 1-up on that finish here tonight. He's definitely, at least as it stands, with 40 laps to go, he's got a car that can do it. Ooh, tight there for the 28. And the 31 now right on his tail.
Jeff is actually one of 4 drivers who has dipped into the 29.9s at some point tonight, including Herman, Harry, and Eddie. Keith has not clicked one of those laps yet. His best is a 30.023, and that could be because Keith has led practically this entire race.
And it looks like, though, he's kind of holding up these guys. Wiley King going to try for the runner-up position on Jeff.
This might help Jeff out, actually. It might help him set up a better run on Keith. Not quite that time. Oh, actually, he's getting a little bit of a pull here.
Let's see. I think if he checks up his corner just enough here and gets that arc that you were talking about, if he gets a good enough one, I think he may have a shot at it here. But yeah, all three of these guys behind Keith, they are right with him. I don't know if that's just how even they are, or if Keith's maybe starting to struggle. It looks like it might be the latter because Harry, Herman, and company are starting to close in on all of them.
Now, right now, they're at about a second of fall off from their best laps of the race. So there's definitely some grip loss going on right now. We could start to see some comers and goers as Ryan Johnson has closed up to the top 6, as has Eddie Rayleigh, and even Randy Smith now. Randy Smith is ahead of KJ for 9th place.
Steve Grant right there with them in 11th at the moment. KJ trying to rip the outside. That's not going to work. And now outside the top 10. Ay, ay, ay.
Harry's going to let Herman go by for 5th place.
That 029 is not a happy car, but yeah, that could open things up here if
Jeff Stachendis in the
Herman
wall off
closes.
turn 2.
Uh-oh. Opening the door for Wiley King. Jeff's going to try to fight it here, though, on the outside, but 95 will clear. And Caleb going to try to follow suit. Lap 79 of 113, longest green flag run we've had thus far. And Caleb will also clear now. For now, in that 3rd position. Does Wiley have anything to run down that 28?
Wiley's still looking for his first win of the year. Could tonight be the night?
Came so close to Texas.
There are 3 drivers top 10 in the points who have yet to win.
And Keith just had a moment. Just about lost it.
Randy Smith got Woglu through 3 and 4 and is losing all of his positions he had gained, along with a ton of time. That's a tough break for Randy. Randy's one of those 3 guys top 10 in the points without a win yet this year. The other is Duke Sorensen, who currently runs in 11th. Now they're really dicing it up. Herman gets by Jeff. Here comes Ryan Johnson. Here comes Eddie Rayleigh.
Jeff's starting to struggle now.
Yeah, Wiley all over the bumper of Keith McLean's going to look low, maybe. Nope.
Caleb way high. Don't know if that's going to work. Also high is the 28. Door's going to open here. Wiley, he's not going to stay content very long. And here we go for the race lead.
Wiley can complete this pass. It's our first pass for the lead under green tonight. Keith with a good exit run, though. He'll hold off the 95.
But look at just how instantly everybody just closed in on these 2.
That's what side-by-side racing does to them. And you've got the 112 and the 78 on slightly fresher tires here, too, so they've got a little more grip. Keith is really getting tight, though. Wiley might get him this time.
He's struggling bad. Keith's going to try. And he's still going to fight it here.
Caution's out. Not sure who had the lead. It looks like Keith will give it to Wiley King.
So Wiley King will be the race leader. And
Randy. Dang.
After we were just hyping him up there a little bit, looks like he's got a flat. 2 flats, maybe. Oh, my.
Oh, it just spun on him right at the apex of 1 and 2. Yeah, I think the right sides went down.
I'm going in and... Whoa. That was an odd one. It looks like something happened. I don't know if... That was weird because it just looked like it was a very sudden snap of oversteer. But it didn't quite send him around fully. It just instant lock up and up into the wall, and that was that. We only got that one look at that. We're going to see everybody coming down pit road here. We got it to the live shot this time. Let's see. We're on lap 84. That is 30 to go. So, yeah, this will be it.
Unless, you start getting more yellows and the strategy kicks back in. We saw what, you know, even a 5-lap tire difference meant for guys like Ryan Johnson and Eddie Rayleigh.
They're making up ground big time. Let's see who's going to win the race off. It will be, I believe, the 28.
If it's yellow line, it's Wiley King.
Let's see where the...
KJ electing to stay out. I guess KJ wants to go restart at the rear. I think he just wanted to lead a lap, get a bonus point.
Yep, Wiley is holding on to it. So Wiley King, first new leader of this race under green conditions.
Yeah, not the first one, not the second driver to lead a lap at all,
Yeah.
but yes, the first one to do so by passing Keith under green. But now, so we'll see how long he can hold on to it, because Keith has been money on the short runs tonight.
Yeah, I think Wiley's probably going to be hoping that this thing goes green. And that seemed like it was really favoring him. The guy that came oh so close to getting the win at Texas, but just came up 2 corners short and lost it to Herman Reese. You know that he's going to be wanting this one. And that would be a big win for Team Speedland, who of course also has Randy Smith and Steve Grant on that team. And again, we always send our shout-outs and thank yous to Speedland.com and what they do for this sim and these broadcasts, for that matter. Red, white, and blue, Wiley, number 95. But don't look now. Look who's third. That 113 is going to be making some noise on this restart. I can guarantee you that. Herman Reese up to 4th. And Eddie Rayleigh 5th. Eddie's also got a pretty good piece under him by the looks of it. Ryan Johnson will be 6th. Followed by Jeff Stakanis, Eric Kodian, Steve Grant, and how about Ken Hansen has now found his way to the top 10. Really Trusty must have fallen a lap down at some point or another, but looks like he will get a lap back. It's still showing him -1, so we'll see if that updates then, but boy, it's game on now. You can make it to the end. Just a matter of what piece you got under you at this point.
Charlie Trusty, I think, was actually 2 laps down, Andrew. He got back to 1 lap down.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering there. Wasn't quite sure if he had made it to the line or not. How aggressive are these guys going to be on this restart?
Yeah, you might want to save a tiny bit, but not a lot. It's 28 lap run to the finish.
Keep some tire under you. You're going to need it. Here we go.
Actually, 27 lap run to the finish.
And KJ is starting pretty far back there, so don't think that that's going to be a race-winning run there for the 029 after he was looking very strong. But very strong restart there for the 95, pulling away by several car lengths.
Yeah, I wonder if KJ might have made it a little too loose, and it starts to go away from him on the long run, so we'll have to see what he can do.
Everyone's starting to kind of get these tires up to temperature before they start to kind of know what they've got. But Wiley King looking good as it stands, crashing at the back. Troy Donahue just went around.
Dan Rubino loops it. Monty Keller in front of all of that was almost spinning.
Wonder if that maybe have checked them up and may have been what caused that. I was just checking back.
Stenzo just ran over the 81 going into the corner.
Uh-oh.
Looks like maybe just a misjudge.
I was just checking on where KJ was. The next thing I know, I see a sideways 81.
That'll be it for Stenzo. That's unfortunate. You never want to
Ooh.
wreck somebody going into a corner, especially not at a track like this where it's heavy braking. So Troy's car is very damaged now on the rear end.
Yeah, I think that may have just been a misjudge on the part of that 51. Yeah, that's the nature of when you gotta check up hard and brake hard for, well, somewhat hard for these corners. Everyone does it a little differently, and if you're not ready, that's kind of the result.
Oh, now Charlie Trusty is back
Oh, oh,
on the
oh.
lead lap. Yeah, they were thinking about it.
Oh, man, I thought he was committing.
KJ is, though. KJ was still at the back. He was like, yeah, why not? I'll
Eh,
pit.
I got nothing to lose, really, at this point. Along with the guys that were involved and had some trouble. Greg Stenzo looks like just opted to retire. I just saw him disconnect from TeamSpeak.
Yeah, he caused that wreck, so, you know.
I think it is a two-in park in this league, so...
Did he cause one earlier?
I
He
think...
did self-spin,
Yeah,
didn't
he had that
Yeah, he
self-spin
did.
earlier, so that would be the two.
Yeah.
So, a rough
Tough
one
break.
there for Stenzo. But hopefully we'll also see him at Michigan next week. So it's Michigan next week, and then the Papayas game track in 2 weeks. Fancy that.
The what?
Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
What track did you say?
Papyrus, the game track, apparently.
I thought they didn't run road courses here.
Uh,
Maybe that's an exception because
apparently
it's more
it's
of a
not.
speedway.
Yeah.
Well, it's a road course. Technically, there's one right-hand turn on it.
It is 53 laps scheduled is what it shows on the schedule, so I don't know. I've never seen that track in my life. I am fascinated to
You
see what
don't
that'll
know
be.
what Papyrus Motorsports Park is?
I know of it. I've never actually seen it.
Yeah, we ran Fuel Grand National Series. We ran an open setup race there last year. It was really fun. So you actually want to set up your tire pressures as high as possible because it's a road course chassis, but it's not a conventional road course because of the banking. So you actually want high tire pressures. You mess with the spoiler a lot, and you can go really freaking fast around that track. But it's dicey. It's dicey, man.
That's gonna be a fun night there if we're able to make that one happen. So tune in for that one in 2 weeks. Of course, we got Michigan next week on Tuesday and Sunday. Don't forget that. We'll throw that out there one more time to anyone that didn't hear it earlier. 9 o'clock Eastern Time on Sunday night. Fast Cup Series will be here on the channel, and that will also be from Michigan. That'll be cool to see some next-gen cars. They're running next-gen still, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thought so. So that'll be really, really cool. It's a league that kind of helped to kickstart the whole broadcasting side of things. Of course, it truly started with IMRC.
That league died.
When did it die? Is that what he said?
I said that league died.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, it still existed. Not discounting it for that, but I think Shane shut it down 2022.
Yeah. I think he just had too much going on. So, yeah, I remember that. So I think I can't remember if I was either going to broadcast another season of it or if I was actually going to start trying to race in it. But I just remember seeing that announcement and going, "Well,
I think it was
nuts."
it was either season 11 or season 12 that they were in. I remember. I think I was in the last race because the race was a little frustrating. A lot of yellows, and I think Shane just had enough of it at that point.
It's a lot to run one of these things. Here we go, 21 laps. And back into the restart zone. Another phenomenal restart. That 95 has a great restart gear. That's going to help him out if these cautions continue. But ooh, good corner there for the 28. So game on here once these guys get going, and we'll be able to see a little more what they've got under them. Battle here for 6th place. Jeff Stacan is trying to get it on Ryan Johnson. Jeff with damage.
Yeah, he hit the wall at one point.
Yeah, I think I remember you saying that, but trying to rip that outside, was able to get him at the line there, but still side by side for that position. Harry Kodian right behind them, looking to maybe pounce. Ooh, he's got to run. Oh my gosh, he's going to go for it. 3 wide. And bails out. He was thinking about it. Thought better of it, and these two are still glued at the hip.
Yeah, you can just see how hard it is to pass on the inside here. Ryan able to get about even with Jeff through the middle of the corner, but can't quite clear him down the straightaway. He's going to try to maybe slide up. That's going to get tight. Jeff's going to let him have it. We are under caution again. Oh, it's Randy Smith and Dan Rubino again.
Oh, boy. What do we got going on with the 10 here? Once again, it's 1 and 2 Calamity Corner tonight. Oh,
Well,
I think. Oh, damn.
He got some help.
Oh, Danny boy.
Oh, that's a lick and a half, too.
Ugh.
Driver side impact to the outside wall for Randy Smith. Sorry.
You're good. Yeah, that. I know it's a game, but ooh, thank goodness for Safe Bear. Never mind.
You said it right.
I actually said Safeful.
I didn't hear that. I heard safer. You were close enough. Strategy time. You pit and take 2 here. Do you pit and take 4? Do you stay out? Wiley King is thinking he is going to stay out, but Keith is going to come in. Caleb stays out. Ryan Johnson stays out. A lot of people coming down pit road.
Oh, baby, this is going to be interesting. Ken Hansen also stayed out.
Yep, Ken Hansen. Let's see, what is the strategy here for those that have pit?
We're going to keep it to pit 1 here and see what the verdict is going to be for these guys. I wonder if maybe they're taking a page out of Ryan Johnson's playbook. What is the call? Looking like 4 tires for most of them. Eddie Rayleigh with 2 once again.
Looks like everyone else is taking 4.
Yep, 4 across the board everywhere else.
Maybe you loosen the car up. Don't put any fuel in it. Loosen the car up. Add some track bar, maybe.
Maybe another 5% of tape, perhaps.
No.
A little too early for that.
Too many laps left for that. It'll be 13 or 14 to go here, I think, on the restart. So, top 7 cars stay out. We'll see if Troy or Charlie elect to pit or not. Looks like Troy will. So that'd leave it top 6.
Troy's still got a lot of rear end damage.
Yeah, top 6 only have about maybe 5-6 green flag laps on their tires, so it's not a lot. If you can get through the field quickly, you're looking pretty good to stay on the attack, but you're going to want it to go green from here. If you have a caution, that's going to just stack you up again. It's going to make it difficult to improve, but I think if you're the top 6, you cannot pit if there is another yellow. Your bed's made. Like, this was the perfectly timed caution to decide, am I going to stay out with what I got, or am I going to pit and try to make this thing looser, maybe get a little extra speed through the middle of the corner. What I would look for if I'm one of those guys that took 4 there, if I made it looser, I would want to see if I can't send it a little deeper and run the outside lane through the corner, carry more speed off exit, and then shoot to the bottom and complete the pass, then going into the next corner, and then set up the next guy the same way. I don't know if you'd want to run the bottom just every lap, just because it is kind of hard to pass, so it's hard to keep momentum off the corner. I think you're better off maybe running closer to the wall as long as you don't get stuck in the wall. because most of these guys have been running the middle all night.
This is going to be good. 14 laps will be the call here for the green flag. And top 6 all stayed out. Eddie Rayleigh 2 tires. And then Keith
Everybody
McLean
else
on back.
4.
On 4 tires. Keith McLean, this is the deepest he's been all night. Some other heavy hitters back here, including Herman, Jeff, Harry, and KJ's 12th. So he's right there in that mix with those guys.
Yeah, all the guys that pit are guys that have been in the 28.9s tonight. You got Keith with a 932, Herman a 933, Jeff with the 952, Harry the 970, Eddie the 999. You know, everyone that stayed out has not been the fastest guy on a short run. And, you know, luckily for Wiley, who was the leader, he had 5 more guys stay out with him. So if Wiley gets a couple of yellows here, you know, the only guys you really got to worry about is probably Caleb and Ryan.
And those guys got some good speed themselves. So, oh boy, here we go. Everyone on a mixed bag here. I don't think we're done with cautions, to be real with you, but here we go. Green flag back out. Better restart there.
Charlie got a bad restart, so that immediately helps the top 5.
And Charlie's going to go up into the wall. It, unfortunately, kind of reminiscent of when he got up front earlier on. He will drop back. Caleb a little closer to the 95 than we've seen other guys restart so far. Coming down to 13 laps to go.
Keith is already all over Eddie for what would be 6th place here, as they are closing already back up to the top 5.
He's got to make quick work here, this 112, though. But, of course, the 112 is on 2 tires. He's not exactly dead in the water here. They're both going to get a run on Ken.
Yeah, they're getting a huge run on Ken. Eddie's going to go low. What does Keith do here? Keith is going to take a little bit more of an arc. He might be able to cross him over. It's going to be a little tight, but he will get to the inside of the 112 off of turn 4.
That's going to be huge there, if he can try to keep it under there.
Herman's right there behind him, so Keith has got to try to get by this 112 because he'll have Herman right there with him.
112 did power around the outside. He managed to hold on to that, and it will do so again off of 2. Caleb got awfully close to the 95, had to get out of it. Believer back under yellow
Caution.
again. Who's around? Oh, Harry.
Looks like maybe Bumbalo involved as well.
Dan's around again. Oh,
Harry got run over by the 31.
That, oh my goodness. Another driver that can't catch a break to save his life.
And then Ricky just went up into the wall trying to slow down and came off the wall and spun very slowly. Yeah, I mean, it looks like Jeff was just trying to get all he could out of it, and Harry braked earlier than he thought. Or, well, it looks like Jeff didn't really even... It almost looks like Jeff wasn't braking there, it looks like. It looks like he was coasting.
Yeah, maybe just, I don't know. Maybe thought 13 would go lower.
Oh, I think something happened with Jeff's game.
Oh, did he get, like, stuck up into the wall or something?
I think something happened with Jeff's game, because the way he runs in the Harry and then the way his car continues up the track, it looks like he might have
tabbed out.
No, he might have warped out, but like everyone disappeared on his end, but not for everybody else. He was still there, and what that does is it turns your car into a tank, because he just drove straight through Harry, but his car didn't step sideways or anything. So I think that was a warp out on the part of Jeff, but everyone disappeared for Jeff, but Jeff didn't disappear for anybody else, and that results in the 13 being junked.
I have not seen something like that in a while.
I recognize it because it happened to me at a league about 3 months ago. Everyone disappeared for me, but everyone else still saw me, and I completely ran over somebody going into turn 1 at Charlotte.
I do remember, like, it was a clip from it. I think it was a fast race actually, and I think JTN captured it. And this was when I first kind of saw the phenomenon. Was yeah, someone just mowed over like 2 or 3 people, even though they were trying to check up for the caution, and this person was still just going full speed, and the game didn't know what to do. So yeah, it was just like
Yeah, it's really strange.
it turned into a tank.
It's not a tab out. It's really strange because typically when you fall out, you disappear and you disappear for everyone else. But there's rare occurrences where, for whatever reason, everyone disappears for you, but you don't disappear for them. And when that happens, your car turns into the pace car from NR 2002. Like that's literally
Indestructible machine, destruction machine.
like that's literally what it turns into. And so unfortunately for Harry, I think, maybe Jeff maybe knew everyone disappeared, so he just went to go into the corner and maybe tried to stay high, but didn't realize that it might have happened really fast, and he might have just thought he was falling out, but instead Harry got wrecked with him.
That's bizarre. That is just bizarre stuff. And Jeff has unfortunately called it a night after that incident. He will join the 051, 77, 25, 07, and 49 as retirees. Everybody's still on the lead lap. We've got the 1 to green. This will be 7 laps to go when we get the green flag here. Wiley still out in front ahead of the 113, the 78. Steve Grant is 4th, and then you still got 2-tire Eddie Rayleigh in 5th, with 4-tire Keith McLean 6th.
So Eddie's still in a very good spot here, but unfortunately for Keith and Herman, it's going to be tough for them to win from here with 7 laps to go.
Agreed. I think this caution big time helped out these top 4.
I think it mainly helped out the top 2, top 3. I mean, Steve has had speed tonight, yes, but when he got on older stuff, he kind of faded. So
yeah,
I think the top 2, I think it's safe to say that maybe this is their fight. But if I'm Caleb, I don't want to make the move until I absolutely need to. So maybe like 5 to go, 4 to go. You have to start thinking about making that move, because then if you get a caution, the race ends under yellow.
Yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen here. Nice jump. Yeah, that's the restart that we're used to seeing from him. That is what he needed. Already, Rayleigh trying to get underneath the 11. Clips the apron. Now check up the 28.
Yep, that checked up Keith. That checked up.
Oh,
Herman.
Steve!
Grants around. He saved.
And so is Herman.
Herman gets spun by Keith from checking up.
Caution, I assume, and indeed it is out. Racing back, it looks like.
Oh, Eddie Rayleigh and KJ are wrecking off of turn 4.
Oh my God, they kept it straight. Whoa, hold on.
Oh, Randy Smith.
Another one's upside down. This is craziness.
3 different wrecks here on this one.
And we're still not done. We're going to go back green.
Yeah, there's going to be one more restart, but I don't know where KJ came from. KJ came out of nowhere.
Whoa. I knew that he was kind of getting closer, but yeah, I'm with you. I didn't think he was that close.
KJ got through all the madness, and then he went to go to Eddie's outside, and Eddie got loose right off of turn 4 and nowhere to go. And then I don't know what happened to Randy.
Just making sure that no one pits here. I assume not. Yeah, as you said, your bed's made at this point. So,
Randy was side by side. Randy was side by side with Harry, and Randy just got a little wiggly coming off of 4. It put Harry up in the wall, and then Harry came back down off the wall and got into him, and Randy got to glide on his driver's side door down the front straightaway.
not the most comfortable feeling in the world, but yeah, we got a few different incidents to take a look here. So Steve trying to power on the outside. He actually was in good shape, and then just lost it. Managed to save it. And then Herman let's have a more detailed look here real quick.
Well, Herman,
Did
meanwhile,
he get
has
into the
pit.
28?
Herman has pit, so I think you might be claiming that one.
Let's see. It checks up. Ooh, Twitch, and yeah, he was starting to go around, and yeah, 28 couldn't quite check up in time. So, and we'll see with KJ and Eddie. If there's Eddie getting loose, trying to hold on to it, and then they get up into the wall, and ooh, and there's the hit there with the 10 and the 13. My goodness. How long can you stay on your side, even after you're off the wall? Ooh, what a ride.
So I think it'll be a 2-lap shootout here, green, white, checkered. Lights are still on here at 4 to go. You keep looking at those replays and see if you got any more. Wiley King leads it. Lingle second. Ryan Johnson third. Keith McLean is up to fourth. No damage on that race car, so he's in good position here. Duke Sorensen up to fifth. Is right there in the catbird seat. Now, Duke has not scored a top 5 yet this year. He's got 9 top 10s, sits 8th in the points. So Duke looking like he's going to maybe get a really good finish here.
That'd be pretty sweet.
I mean, Keith is likely in the best shot to attack here. I think Keith can at least get a podium if he can get by Ryan Johnson quickly and efficiently. But I think the battle for the win's down to Wiley and Caleb, and Wiley's in full control right now. I mean, he has been getting perfect restarts every restart attempt.
He's just got to do it one more time, and yeah, he'll be looking good, but then yeah, he'll have to have some mistake-free corners, and with how treacherous it is on these cold, used tires. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't give it to him quite yet. Lights are out. Green, white, checkered. Here at Nashville, it's been an interesting race for sure. But hey, it's coming down to a fun finish here. And as always, it's been fun calling this one. And thank you as always, Zach, for being up here. We're gonna get an awesome fight here for this green, white, checkered.
Right on, man. You know it.
Oh, boy. Would it certainly be cool to see Wiley King get his first win, but you got some hungry guys right behind him. Can Duke Sorensen hold on to that top 5? Keith McLean, does he have enough time to pick these guys off? Or will Caleb Lingle finally get win number 2 on the season? And will Ryan Johnson join the 2-in-a-row club? Think you got anyone of these top 4 that may be able to do it, but I'm with you. I think the favorites are going to be these top 2 just based on what we're looking at with how little time we have left. Does Wiley have one more good restart in him here? Let's find out. He absolutely does, and Ryan does not get going from third.
I mean, that basically leaves it now to Wiley and Caleb.
It absolutely does. Oof.
Keith, though, is going to get a nice run here on Ryan. He should be able to get third. Eddie and KJ almost dooring each other.
Oh, my gosh, again. Monty Keller's right there with them. How about that? Racing back.
This is it. Keith McLean trying to take third from Ryan Johnson. Going to get tight. Can he get the run down the bank?
Oh, it's going to be close. I don't know.
Yep,
he got him.
2 1,000ths of a second there for third. It's Wiley King. Oh, and Caleb just warped off the bumper of Wiley.
Oh, I hope they can keep going.
Caleb's going to be hard-pressed to get back up to speed here.
Oh, yeah, he's destroyed.
Wiley warped right after they took the caution, and Caleb got bumper grabbed.
That's what that was. Aye. Yeah, he's catching up. I think he'll be good.
I hope the game doesn't disqualify him for dropping fluid on the track.
Yeah. Ooh, he's got a.
He is making some insane maneuvers to get back up to second. They weren't really doing him any favors.
You got to get Keith up there too.
Oh, I think it blew up.
But it's official for Wiley. He wins it. And Caleb
Buffs it.
clutches across the line there. He will get second. And Keith just barely third with a destroyed car himself. But another new winner on the season is Wiley King. How cool is that?
Duke Sorensen, first top 5 of the season with a P5 result.
Gets that top 5. That is awesome for Duke. Had to avoid a lot of trouble tonight, and it's going to pay off for that 59. How about Monty Keller in 7th? Pretty cool stuff there for the 028s. Wow. I'm gonna play back that final lap there before we talk to anybody. At KJ 6th with Eddie Rayleigh 8th, Ricky Bumbledo in 9th. Troy Donahue, after being involved in a crash, will be 10th. Actually, yeah, first things first. Yeah, what am I doing? Yeah, we got a burnout to watch here. There's his Speedland teammate there, Steve Grant. Kind of celebrating with him. And they're just kind of pushing off each other here in the grass. That's funny. Yeah, I know Steve's got to be feeling pretty happy seeing his teammate get it. Let's take a look at that final green flag lap there. Oh yeah, Wiley with the restart of a lifetime there. We were focused on that battle for third. I did see Caleb really dive it. And we'll have a look at that here. I think, yeah, once he knew the caution was out, which, yeah, we have to see what the caution was even for. Yeah, he even downshifts it. He does everything trying to get up to him, but it's just not enough, and then, yep, he gets loose. And there they take the caution there. They're checking up. And, ooh, yeah, there's the warp. The worst possible time. But hey, it won't matter in the end. Destroyed race car or not. Caleb will finish second. Riley King will win it. And avenges his Texas loss. We'll get one more replay here to see what actually brought out the caution itself. Looks like it may have been Ken Hansen. And indeed it was. Looks like maybe a solo while battling with Monty Keller and Rick Castle. And yep, just solo. Just surrounded by all those guys. And man, what scattered. Everyone's scattering around. I think that'll get... Ooh, Herman actually lost it too by himself, just about. He managed to save it. But we'll lose out on the top 10 by a nose to Donahue. A lot of drama there on lap 112. One final replay here to see this close battle for third. And it is going to be 2/1000ths of a second at the stripe that the podium will go to Mac Daddy. Gotta feel at least pretty good about that after losing track position. And all in all, it's Wiley King's night after it's all said and done. Holy moly, Zach, did we see some crazy stuff there or what?
Yeah, man. Crazy.
Crazy. Well, we got all these guys down there waiting for us.
Yeah, let's get them in here. I want to go to bed. This race took too long.
It is 10:40 here at night. I'm with you, but let's get Keith.
User was moved to your channel.
Mac Daddy.
Mac Daddy's in the house.
What's going on, Mac Daddy in the house?
Two
Mac Daddy.
1,000ths of a second. You beat out Ryan Johnson there for that podium.
Stole the
Holy cow.
words out my lips, Andrew. Yeah, 2 1,000ths for third, Mac Daddy. How'd you do it?
I don't know.
You don't know.
We
I don't
come
know.
on the turn, and I looked, and he looked like he had me about a foot, half a foot, and I said, "Let me run down the hill. Maybe I can beat him down the hill." And I barely beat him.
It worked out there, but a very caution-filled race, and that kept you up front for the most part there. You opted for tires when the split strategy came in there. What was the thought process there? Hoping that more guys would just pit with you, or you thought that you'd be able to make up the track position?
Well, I was hoping it would be a few more guys would pit, but even though tires did make a difference, but they're not going to make a difference if you're under yellow ever. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean. But yep, you were able to claw your way back up to a third place finish, continuing with those good runs and a good recovery there after losing track position there. And I mean, hey, the second and third place cars were destroyed at the end of it, but it don't matter. You guys keep the spots anyway. So I think popping up a cold one for that one.
That was crazy because Caleb said that Wiley's car just warped or something. It was inside his car. I was like, what?
Oh yeah, we caught a glimpse of it there during the replay, and it was like, oh yep, he just worked backwards for that brief second, and right then Caleb spun. So yeah, that was an odd incident, but I've seen it before. So just glad you guys were able to get back up there, get your spots, and a well deserved good finish for you, my man. And hey, we'll see you of course at Michigan, hopefully, but. For right now, though, we'll keep it going just because we're getting a little bit late here. But as usual, closing thoughts from you, my man.
I just thank everybody that's helped with the broadcast. Keep Speedland has helped a lot. I got other guys. Ryan Johnson's helped. Just so many guys. I can't remember them all. I'm glad to keep doing it to keep this thing running. And anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Mac Daddy.
Mac Daddy in the house. Good finish.
Appreciate it.
User left your channel.
Get him rolling there. And next up is Caleb Lingle.
User was moved to your channel.
There is the 113. That is 2 second place finishes in a row. So in that regard, I think you got to be feeling rather good about that.
Oh yeah. Once again, luck was on my side tonight. At least most of the race, not the full race, but it feels good to get a good finish again.
Yeah, especially a good recovery because earlier on, spinning out through the grass, no caution initially, but then you were able to get one eventually that caught you back up. But I guess I'll just ask you, as far as trying to claw your way back through the field, seemed like you had to have had a pretty darn good piece under you there as far as the setup went and how the car was driving. Is that about what it felt like, or were we a little deceived there?
Maybe the first part a little deceived. I did take 2 tires and gained about 10 positions and just kind of managed what I had. Try to get back on the same tire sequence as everyone else. The car was pretty good. It wasn't great. It didn't have a ton of speed on the short run, and I honestly didn't know what I had coming into the race. I practiced for a long time last night. Wasn't happy with just with anything really. There was some things that were good in areas and bad, good in other areas. But I basically kind of threw this thing real quick together before qualifying and said, well, this is what I got. So until the race got going, I didn't know what I had. But yeah, it was decent on long runs, a little slow on the short runs, but it all worked out.
It all worked out in the end for you. Zach, you got anything for Caleb?
Yeah, Caleb, let's talk about that decision there with about 15 or so to go to stay out. How did you feel about that decision in the moment? And how did you feel about it when there was another caution?
Yeah, when everybody dove on pit road there, last year I was notorious for making the wrong pit calls, and I thought that was going to happen again tonight when I saw everybody dive on pit road basically behind us. And I was telling Ryan Johnson over the TeamSpeak channel, our team channel, that I hope that we get a couple quick cautions because that's the only thing that was going to save us. So those caution came out again right there, 11 to go, something like that. So it froze the field, so we didn't have to race back. And then we had another caution was inside the 10 to go, and all that helped helped our cause because if not, I think Ray Dog, Keith, even Herman could have got out there and probably passed me.
It all panned
Right
out
on,
in the
man.
end for you. New tires definitely were making a difference for some guys at different points in the race, but the track position held on for you. You were able to get that second place despite despite an odd occurrence there on the actual last lap, which we kind of saw that. That's out of everyone's control. You're still able to finish that second place, destroyed race car or not. So very nicely done. 2 runner-ups in a row. Luck is hopefully turning back around for you, and we'll see if that can continue for you heading to Michigan.
Yeah, it's nice to get a little a good finish when I really didn't expect one like this. I honestly, a top 10 I'd have been happy with. So yeah, we'll try to keep that good luck rolling.
And hopefully so, man. As usual, we'll give you some closing thoughts here, and then we'll let you go since it's getting a little late here on the East Coast.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I want to thank the teammates and all the guys that was working with me last night. Was able to put some things together, and as I said earlier, put bits and pieces of everything I had into one thing and brewed this thing up. But big shout out to my family and the family and friends that are watching as well, and y'all for broadcasting, and Rubino's for the league, and Keith and all those that have donated for the funds.
It's our pleasure putting these on, man. But great finish. Hopefully the momentum continues for you at Michigan. We'll see you next week, hopefully.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
You too, my man.
User was moved out of your channel.
That was Caleb for second place. Finally,
User was moved to your channel.
race win number
Winner,
1
winner, chicken dinner.
on the season. It's Wiley King. You got me, Wiley?
Yeah, 10-4. How's it going, guys?
It's going pretty good. I imagine it's going pretty good for you, too. You got that first win of the season. I said you avenged your loss after Texas. How you feeling?
Yeah, it's funny because I was kind of feeling the same way. I was like, man, it was after I blew that, lost that one in Texas. This one does feel pretty good.
I will ask in regard to the strategy call, which of course ended up working out for you. But with about 15 laps to go there, it was a split bag. You were out front for those ensuing restarts. How are you feeling about your chances after that whole strategy played out? You're feeling good on the tires that you had, or are you thinking, uh-oh?
Well, I was basically going with the trend of the race, multiple cautions. I mean, no offense to anybody, but I hope we never run this track again. It was awful. But yeah, but I was like, man, there's so many cautions in there, and I'm getting such good restarts. I might as well just stay out and just roll the dice. I can't fall too far back, I didn't think. So I wound up paying off. I'm glad. And I was always worried about the 113 and Mac Daddy, of course. You're always got to worry about them guys and a few others.
They got some serious speed. That's my last question that I'll throw at you real quick, and I'll send it to Zach. But those restarts, just was it just tuned right for you? It seemed like you really had the thing tuned perfectly for those restarts in first or second gear or whatever it was that you were restarting in.
Well, yeah, something I've been trying to work on here a lot lately is keeping the car nice and steady on the restarts, because I noticed, in previous races, the guys they'd pull out 2.5 seconds just on the restart, and I was like, man, this is not good. Then I spend the whole run trying to catch back up. So I've really been working on that. It paid off tonight. I'm thankful because it's got to win to get in.
Yeah, and paid off for you, and moving up in those point standings. Zach, what you got?
How does it feel to finally get that win, Wiley? It's so hard to win here at HOBO when you got guys like Keith and Herman and Ryan and Caleb and anybody else, really, just to name a few. How does it feel to get that win?
Yeah, it feels pretty good, man. Like I said, it takes that pressure off from, getting in the chase. And it's like I needed a long run because I knew the car was good on the long run. And sure enough, that one long run, I barely got around Keith right there when the caution came out. And was like the perfect run, the perfect distance that I needed. So it worked out pretty good. And then all the cautions just kept falling right in place. So, it really felt good actually passing those guys on the green. That's what felt the best because I don't get to do that very often.
Yeah, you got it up there and you were able to hold on to it despite those old tires. A caution or two that maybe fell in your favor, but all in all, it was up to the driver to manage that, and you nailed it to a T. And you are now the 9th different winner of this season already. That is that's a pretty cool stat right there. And yeah, you're part of a pretty elite club there, my man.
Yeah, it's a tough league, man. No doubt about it. I've been racing with these guys. Shoot, I don't even know when we started. Probably 10 or so years ago. I can't remember exactly. I don't pick up wins that often, so every one of them feels pretty good.
And that's a good one that you got for yourself there. I'll let you have any closing thoughts and shout-outs that you have from Victory Lane, and then we'll let you go celebrate.
Well, I always got to shout out my team captain, Steve Grant, from teamspeedland.com, of course, and a few other guys. I can't really mention that we've been kind of working together to beat those 4 horsemen, and finally one in the bag. So, yeah, it feels pretty good.
That's awesome. Hey, Team Speedlane got 2 wins now on the season. Steve Grant got the first one, and now your name is on that list as well. So congrats to you, my man. Hopefully we'll see some more success for you both. And, hey, Michigan next week. Best of luck to you there.
Oh, that's good news, too. Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate the job y'all do, and thanks, Steve, for being over, for hosting, and I guess, the Rubino Brothers, period, hosting this league. It's been a really cool league. A lot of packed field. That was a big field here, like every week.
Yeah, 24 tonight. I don't think it's ever dipped below 20 from what I remember. So, yeah, that's cool to see. And hey, the pleasure's ours. We're glad to be bringing these to the masses. How you can have fun watching this one back and seeing yourself get that W. Very well deserved, my man. Nicely done.
I appreciate you guys. Good seeing y'all again. I'll catch up with y'all next week.
Hey, hopefully we get to talk again.
Yeah, me too.
Take care, man.
Okay.
User was moved out of your channel.
And that is another night of racing concluded. Zach, your concluding thoughts on tonight's chaos at Nashville?
They raced. Wiley King won. And I'm tired.
Go to bed.
Can we start getting some green flag racing over here? I know they can do it.
I think Michigan's going to be a good one. I think that's going to be a good one.
It's really hard to ruin Michigan.
Don't say that out loud.
Well, I won't be here to see it. I'll be running Pocono. So
we're running Maverick at Pocono. We'll see Zach in action on Sunday night at Michigan at Fast. We're looking forward to that one. Thank you, Zach, for kind of putting that together as well. Yep, like you said, we'll be streaming some select fast races on Sunday nights here over these next couple of months. But until Sunday night, we will tune it off for now, get some rest. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. Congrats to Wiley King on the victory. And hey, we'll see everybody in 5 days' time. Double dose of Michigan next week on Sunday and Tuesday. Until then, a good evening to you all.